It was on a Sunday morning when I finally regained consciousness, but I couldn't feel my legs. The doctor later informed me that I had suffered a paralysis, and even though they weren't sure for how long, more tests will be conducted. Few days later, I was assigned to a wheelchair, and a therapist was brought in for me because I had completely lost it. My therapist wanted to know what was going on in my head, but I just sat there wondering what I had done wrong to deserve all this. In case you're wondering how I got myself in this situation, let me take you a little bit backward. My name is Florence. I am 27 years old. I'm a writer whose works has gained the attention of so many. I've received various honors, credits, and love from many through my works. I met Sonia some years back on one of my book launches. We got talking and soon discovered we had a lot in common, one of which were our love for reading, and I soon discovered that she was also a lover of my books. It was from that moment a beautiful friendship began. We hung out, went to parties together, cooked together. Oh, and did I also mention that Sonia is a chef? One of the reasons we connected, because I also love cooking and I've been able to learn a lot from her. Sonia became the sister I never had, and we did practically everything together. She was ready to fight for me in my absence and in my presence. Of course, I'm the girl who didn't like trouble, so she had my back. Sonia had a growing food brand which wasn't fully stable, so I was willing to help her grow with the little connection I had. And then I took her to most of the events I attended and introduced her to prospective clients. And soon, her business was doing quite well. I was happy because we were both doing well in our careers. Sonia and I traveled a lot, most times for businesses and most times for vacations. It was as if my life was finally complete because I had someone who had my back no matter what, someone who I could talk to and she was ready to listen to me anytime. On one of our travels, Sonia and I met Grace, a talented writer as well. She seemed interesting and wanted to learn a few things from me. It was really exciting to know that someone wanted a part of the knowledge I had, and I was ready to share as long as she was ready to learn. But for some reasons, Sonia wasn't comfortable with how I welcomed Grace into our lives. But I just thought Sonia was being jealous. And of course, we argued over it a few times. But I was still hell bent on mentoring Grace. Few months into her mentorship, Grace brought an idea she had to my knowledge. She wanted us to write a book that focuses on masculine hygiene. She made me understand how it would be a great topic since it's barely talked about, and how it might end up becoming a bestseller since it's coming from women. It was a brilliant idea, and I talked to Sonia about it. Although she wasn't completely in support of our partnership, she had to support me since it was my career. Finally, Grace and I got to work. We started off great, putting equal effort into the project. But with time, Grace started neglecting the project. She would make excuses each time she was supposed to complete a task and would ignore my calls and messages each time I tried reaching out for explanations. This went on for weeks until Sonia advised me to cut her off from the project. It took me time to actually do that since it was her idea and considering how far we've gone on it together. I was ready to wait for her and listen to whatever problem she had going on. But there was no positive response from her. So I went ahead and did as I was advised by Sonia. I continued working on the project all by myself and stopped calling or messaging her. It was as if she vanished into thin air. After 2 months of hard work, I was done with the book and ready to send it to the publishers. The night before I was supposed to send it, I got home, and as I stepped into my apartment, I was presented with the most horrifying scene.